Hey, this is Jamal Abbott, the phone guy, and back with another podcast. And want to talk to you today about 5G. 5G has gotten a lot of attention, mainly because this is the next wave of technology that's going to transform the way that we connect, the way we communicate, and the way that we actually do jobs for the future. So I want to read you an answer that I wrote. This is on Quora, so you can follow me at Quora.com, and the name is Jamal Abbott. So the question that was asked, how transformative will be 5G technology for mobile networks and carriers? And this is my response. From what I've researched, the transformation is real. Despite the hype and misinformation about 5G, it's expected to enable the next wave of technology. If you look at the numbers, you'll see that China has spent more than $24 billion on 5G infrastructure, and that's the components that allow the network to operate, compared to the US since 2015. And that's a lot of bags. And each major wireless carrier is looking to capitalize on the investments made. Most of the talk about 5G has been on its capabilities. There's a few use cases anyone can look up on Google, but it's still early on how this will actually be used. The general agreement is that 5G will enable this small list of technologies to become mainstream. That list includes autonomous vehicles, Internet of Things, fixed wireless. Fixed wireless is essentially being able to take wireless internet access and then using that in a fixed location like your home, your business, or some other structure. And this is mainly used for places that can't get a traditional wired connection to their either residence or to the business. And that might be for a number of reasons. Might be too expensive, or it might just be that the local provider, could be a phone company, it could be a cable company, may not be all that interested in delivering service to certain areas. So fixed wireless is huge. Automation, augmented/virtual reality. With the current 4G networks, they don't have the bandwidth or low latency to handle the above mentioned activities. The exception to this limitation is IoT, which is Internet of Things, which doesn't need much to transfer data. 5G is supposed to allow the mass deployment of these devices. Verizon CEO also mentions 8 currencies that enables the carrier to offer to its customers. In other words, new opportunities to monetize beyond providing services to smartphones. The carriers are in the process of transforming their networks to handle the demand that's coming. For instance, AT&T has been open about their transformation to a software-defined network. Previously, the carriers relied on hardware that capped their growth and were expensive to maintain. Now, there are startups that are introducing cloud-based technology, which should allow them to scale quickly. I'm very excited, and I mean very excited, about the transformation taking place with 5G. The possibilities that are ahead of us will make our current tech environment look ancient. And I have some footnotes here. So China outspending the US by $24 billion in 5G technology since 2015. What is 5G? All you need to know, and the hype. An article from the Verizon CEO about a keynote that was done out here in Las Vegas 2019 at the Consumer Electronics Show. AT&T outlined their core network AI strategy, and the software startup Israeli telecom DriveNet emerges from stealth with $110 million. So there's a lot of activity that's going on right now with 5G, a lot of excitement, and this time right now reminds me of what I just read here recently about the race to introduce the first telephone. So Alexander Graham Bell and then some other inventors out there were essentially trying to get to the market first with the first telephone device. The story goes with Alexander Graham Bell. He actually made it to the patent office to patent the telephone device, even though it technically didn't work on paper, but he was the first one to the office. And an hour later, Elijah Gray made it to the patent office with his intent to make a telephone device. So that type of excitement and that type of possibilities that are once we saw back in those days, those are happening right now with 5G technology. And then the other thing I'll point out here too with Alexander Graham Bell, with that patent, that eventually led him to start the Bell Telephone Company, which is now known as AT&T today. So whoever gets to the spot first with this 5G technology, they may have a significant lead out there compared to the rest of the competitors. And this isn't just a US thing. This is actually a world event that's literally happening right now. Like they talked about, China is investing billions of dollars into 5G technologies, and other countries are out there researching, developing, and investing in infrastructure to support 5G technologies. The current president of the United States had also encouraged the U.S. wireless carriers to make 5G happen. So it's getting a lot of attention. There's a lot of hype, but it's definitely real. It's not going anywhere. And we're in the very, very early stages of 5G actually happening. We're actually looking at 5G not being on a mainstream level not until 2020. So we're about a year away before that actually looks like it's going to happen and be usable. And then even at that point, there's still going to be some time for the technology to mature and develop. Phones that need to support the network, and then other applications and other use cases will be developed over time. And then probably within the next, we'll just say 3 to 5 years, we'll actually start to see some real world use cases where 5G is actually being used. And we'll look at the old 4G technology that we're currently using today and say, hey, that was pretty slow. I can't believe we were using that. So it should be interesting. And I'm really excited about what's going on right now. So this is what I'm paying attention to. And like I said, just excited and can't wait to see what comes from this. And that's all I got for now. Stay tuned, and I promise to bring you some more interesting information and content that you may enjoy. I'll talk to you soon.